Hey everybody, this is Eric with supertechnicalseo.com, and today's video is going to be pretty fun. This is something I usually don't get a chance to do. I have a brand new website here, myharnethealth.org, and I've been asked to do a very quick audit of this website to give them some ideas of things that they can fix on this site. So let's first go to docs.new, and we're going to start a new document here. We're going to say ideas to improve myharnethealth.org. So the first thing that I want to do when we're starting our quick audit of this site is look and see how it performs on mobile. And the reason for that is because Google indexes sites mobile first. And we're going to open up our browser inspector here. And so what I did here is I'm on Windows, and so I pressed the Control button, then the Shift button, then I, so Shift Control I. But you also can go up here if you're using Chrome and do More Tools and Developer Tools right here. So we do that, and I'm going to click on this button right here that says Toggle Device Toolbar. I'm going to click it, and I'm going to select iPhone 6, 7, and 8, and then just reload real fast. So let's let this load. So we're looking at the site. The first thing I notice about the site is it's kind of ugly up here in this title bar at the top. So I noticed that the phone number and the email are too close together. So let's put that in there. On mobile, phone number and email address in header bar are too close together, right? So next item right here is the word Harnet Health itself. The T is on another line right here, and it really shouldn't be. So on mobile, in header, the company name is on 2 lines like this. Harnet Health is committed to providing quality health care to the residents of Harnett County and surrounding areas. About us. So I guess the point of this site that they want people to get is for people to learn about them. And so that's an interesting kind of call to action here, that the very first thing that you want people to do is to learn about us. So maybe that's something we can ask later on. Is that really the true intent that we want to have for this site? For people to learn about it, or do you want people to know how to get to your different hospitals? Because this basically, Harnet Health is a company that has multiple clinics and hospitals, and so they have about 6 or 7 or 8 of them. So it's an interesting situation. At the bottom here it says share this. Let's see what this is. I don't really like this, to be perfectly honest with you. Source ID, share this sticky footer should be removed. I think that would just make the experience a little bit better. So let's X out of that. And again, it's still there. Let's scroll through this. The next thing they say is our doctors, our services, ER Express, and online bill pay. I guess these are sort of the things that they want people to know the most, or the most important things to them. So let's say I want these to actually all be the same size. 4 buttons for our doctors, our services, ER Express. So the 4 buttons for our doctors, our services, ER Express, and online bill pay should all be the same width. And so one thing I can do to kind of show you guys what that would look like is click on this button right here. This is the Select an Element tool. So we'll click on this, and what is this? So I'll click here and say A. We'll do width, 250 pixels. Yeah, there we go. So this right here is really what I would like this to look like, because I think that just looks so much better than the way it is right now, having them all be different sizes. Yeah, I just don't like that. And in another video, I'm going to show you guys what I just did, how to make quick edits on the fly with this browser inspector tool here. But that's going to be a later video. So let's keep going. The latest news from Harnet Health. Marley Zasek as interim chief nursing officer. I think that below here, there should be more space. So what I want it to look like is something like, oops, what's going on here? Margin bottom 15 pixels? Yeah, something more like that. In the news section on the homepage, there should be more space below the blog title. So we'll recommend that change to them. Next is find a doctor. This area right here doesn't look very good either. Particularly this label right here is crossing into two lines. You can see over here that it's supposed to say physician name, and you really can't tell that these two are associated together because the distance between physician and name, the line distance, is the exact same as the one for specialty, which has to do with this line. So we really kind of want to find a way to either get this smaller or get this line height a little bit different. So let's try to actually just make them smaller and see what that's like. Let's go here. Let's click on this guy and then do label. And we would try something like font size, maybe 18 pixels, but maybe 14. There we go. That already looks a lot better. We're just making it a little bit smaller. Same thing here, this Chuzo. Yeah, I'm not sure what the heck that's supposed to say, so let's try to make that a little smaller too. Maybe we want this to be font size 15, maybe 14, 13. There we go. So that right there looks a lot better. Just so you can actually read it, you know what I mean? So what we'll say here is, in the Find a Doctor section, make the labels a smaller font size so they don't extend to two lines. And in the same section, make the drop-down items a smaller font so they can be read. This is also on mobile. And on mobile. Cool. Let's keep going. Hiring philosophy. I don't like how this text right here is almost as big as this title here. So I might want to make this font a little bit smaller. So let's try, oops. Font size 12 pixels? No, that's too small. Something like that. That's a little bit better. But the problem here now, of course, well, actually I think it's like that anyway, is this careers and this med ed buttons, they are crazy out of alignment right here, these two. That is ridiculous. So anyway, let's add our first note. In the hiring philosophy section, make the paragraph text smaller so it's not almost the same size as the header. Now let's figure out what the heck's going on with this careers button and this med ed button. So we're going to say the same thing. In the hiring philosophy section, the med ed and careers buttons are out of alignment. They should be right next to each other. Alright, so let's try to figure this out here. Say width 50%, and it's important. Okay. Same thing here. Our width is going to be 50%, and it's important. We're getting somewhere, aren't we? Oh, I love it. Next is going to be you, and you're going to be width of 100%. Okay. Alright. Same thing with you. You're going to have a width of 100%, and there you go. Let's try something else here. Let's do something like margin top. It's going to be like 40 pixels. Yeah, that looks a lot better. A lot better. So we're happy with that. Let's keep going. Next is reach us. Need to get in contact with Harnett Health. There should be a question mark here. In the reach us section, there should be a question mark at the end of the sentence. Let's copy that sentence. Copy. There we go. Simple. So that's their phone number. Let's see if this phone number's got a click to call on it. Click. Of course it doesn't. On mobile, all phone numbers should be click to call. So how do you make a phone number click to call? That's probably a pretty good question, right? So let's right click on this element over here, which is the phone number element, and we'll edit this as HTML. And we can keep it as a strong, but I'm going to add href equals And it's going to be TEL, which stands for telephone, and then a colon, and 910-892-1000, like that. And then let's just go to the end and let's close that A tag. Boop. And now, if you click on this, you see it says open pick an app. Basically what it's saying is that this is a phone number now, and because I'm on my desktop computer right now, it doesn't know how it wants to dial this because I don't have an application available for dialing phone numbers on this thing. But if I did this on my cell phone, that would dial straight out to my dialer. So that's how you do it. Let's keep going. It says reach us, this phone number, Betsy Johnson, located here, and then Central Harnett Hospital here, followed by a P.O. box. So there's 3 different addresses that they're putting here for you to be able to contact, followed by a featured video. So let's click on this featured video and see what happens. Oh boy. Let me pause this. On mobile, in the featured video section, the video should pop up in a light box and allow you to full screen. Yeah, I would like this when you click it to kind of pop up and expand across the whole screen. That would be very great. Here are the locations. Let me see if these are all links. And they are. Okay. Resources, links, and then a certification. I really don't like the way this certification looks right here. So I'm going to say on mobile, in the footer, the certification icon, which is accredited by the Just King Center, should be center aligned to look better. Yeah, it just looks a little bit weird, doesn't it, here on the left? So let's see if we can fix that together. Width 100%. Okay, let's try to do something like text align center. There we go. So I think that looks a lot better, just being center aligned like that. I don't know about you guys, but I just really prefer it that way. And then finally we've got the Facebook link, which goes to Harnett Health Systems. We've got a Instagram link. Let's make sure that is looking good. Sure is. And then let's check out this LinkedIn here. And it's going to the right place. Awesome. And then finally at the bottom it says 2019 copyright and the phone number. Let's see if this phone number down here is clickable. It's definitely not. So again, I'm going to make a note about that. In the bottom footer, the phone number should be click to call. So there we go. So that's my review of the home page and a few things that we can do very quickly just to make the experience better. Let's click on this menu and see what happens. Home, visitors, the patient portal. Let's click on this contact page. That's important, right? So contact us. Once again, we know all these phone numbers are not clickable, so we'll make that happen. Let's try this search right here and see what happens. Med ed. Wonderful. So the search function on the contact page does not work as intended. I searched for med ed, and the med ed page was not one of the search results that appeared. I believe the search only searches through blog entries and not pages. I think that's pretty true. So let's click on this and see where we go. Kind of slow too. Coats, medical services, now accepting walk-ins. So this is definitely a blog entry here. You can see the date, the author here, and then the category that it's in. And again, this picture looks terrible. Let's add that in here. On some blog entries, possibly all blog entries, the featured image is very small and does not look good. All featured images should be 100% width. So let's see what that could look like, right? Click on this guy. And we'll say IMG width of 100%, and it's important. So why did that not work? Oh, because we said it's supposed to be set to 50% for some unknown reason. So that's odd here. There's a CSS rule on the site already that makes these images 50% width. That is super weird. Anyway, so yeah, we definitely are going to get rid of that. That's not good. I don't like it. Okay, so I think that we have wrapped up here looking at the mobile experience. So let's get out of here and let's look at some more technical stuff. So go back to the home page and let's just take a quick peek around the home page. You can obviously tell this site was designed desktop first and then later converted to mobile and did kind of a sloppy job. That's outrageously obvious. So we're going to have to fix that up. It's kind of weird that this blue background doesn't extend to the edge of the screen here. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to extend to the edge of the screen. So let's add a note about that. On the desktop, on the home page, in the hiring philosophy section, the background image, blue gradient, does not extend to the edge of the screen, has a white background when the blue ends, which is odd. Alright. So let's next do something. I'm going to open up a tool down here that I have that's called Screaming Frog. And so this tool right here is a spider that works similar to the way that Google Spider works. It's going to look at every single page on the site and it's going to tell me if there are any title tags missing, meta descriptions missing, those kinds of things. And so let's run it right now and let's see what we can find out. I'm not sure how many pages are on this site, but it could be interesting to find out. So this is going, it's running pretty slow. That's another thing I kind of noticed about this site is that it does run a little bit too slow. So I'm going to add a note about that too. The site loads a little bit too slow, generally slower than 5 seconds per page. And we're going to confirm that in a second. Let's go to webpagetest.org. This is my preferred tool for testing the speed of a website. So we're going to enter in the URL here and click Start Test. And we're going to see what we've got as soon as that's done loading. So let's check back over here. We're at 29% right now. And I think it's going to take a little while. We've got 200 something pages so far. So we're going to find out. This test is starting right now and in the middle of testing. The next thing I'm going to do is go to web.dev. And this is a website that Google launched recently within the last couple of months. And it spits out problems that Google can see about the website. And so we'll check that too. So click on Test My Site. And we're going to sign in with Google. Let's paste this in here. Let's run an audit. So while that's going, we'll check over here. And you can see that webpagetest.org says that it takes 8 seconds for the page to load, and then almost 12 seconds for it to fully load. And let's take a look at this waterfall in here and see what's the biggest thing that's slowing this site down. It's this video right here. And how long is this taking to load, this video? This is 4 seconds to 12 seconds. This takes almost 8 seconds to load. The site loads, I'm going to say, too slow, over 8 seconds on average, and it should always be less than 5. The biggest file that is causing the site to load slowly is this video should be compressed. Right? And honestly, everything else is pretty fine. It's just really this one video right here that's causing the biggest problems for us. We could do some other little modifications and make things better. For example, this GIF right here is probably taking a little bit too long for just a GIF. It's like 1 or 2 seconds. Yeah, that's stupid. That GIF shouldn't even be there, to be perfectly honest with you. Here's another image that's taken a little bit too long, 1 or 2 seconds to load. So again, it actually looks super compressed when I'm looking at it, but that could be made even perhaps a little bit smaller. Alright, so now we know more about the loading right here. It's also saying that they need to be caching static content and using a CDN. The site should be using caching in the HD access file. I'll explain that in another video. Browser caching. Next, the site should be using a content delivery network to serve files. Awesome. Let's close out of this. Let's go back into Screaming Frog, and we're still at 87%. This is a big site. We're at 459 pages scanned so far. This is a really big site. Well, not the biggest I've ever seen. I've seen sites with millions of pages like the New York Times, but for a small little hospital, local hospital, it's a pretty big site. All right. So, see, performance has a 17 out of 100 score, so that's pretty bad. Accessibility is a 69, also not very good, but SEO at 100. Imagine that. So let's take a look here. Eliminate render blocking resources. Defer unused CSS. So web.dev says we should defer unused CSS. I agree. That means that there are CSS rules that are never being used on this site. Serve images in next-gen formats. Web.dev says serve images in next-gen formats. Links do not have a discernible name. Finally, web.dev says to eliminate render blocking resources. Let's go back, just like that. Defer off-screen images. Use lazy sizes to lazy load images. Efficiently encode images. Reduce server response times. Time to first byte. That's what TTFB means. Elements with role that require specific children are missing. Background and foreground colors do not have a sufficient contrast ratio. ID attributes on the page are not unique, and more. Frame or iframe elements do not have a title. Does not use passive listeners to improve scrolling performance. There's a ton of problems on this site that we can fix. So I'm asking it to show me a external URL report here so that I can include it. And I think I should just be able to copy this, and it should load anytime. So other problems that web.dev says we should fix. Exactly. So there's a ton of little technical things that we can do to this site to make it load faster. The performance is just awful. Make it more accessible, like making sure that all the images have alt tags, and just following some more general best practices that Google looks for in websites. This is a really helpful tool right here, web.dev, for finding out sort of the health of your website. So at some point, we're going to fix all those problems, but not today, because this is just a quick audit to find out what's wrong with this site. So the next thing that we're going to do is close out of these tabs, and we're going to go back into Screaming Frog. And we're done. Awesome. So let's take a look here. The first thing I'm going to do is check to see if there's any 404 pages on the site. And there's a lot of them. So let me explain something really quickly. 200 status code means okay. 404 status code means that the page has been deleted and was never redirected anywhere else. And 301 means that 301 or 302 means that a page on a site was redirected somewhere else. So I'll give you an example of that. Let's say you decide to delete a blog on your site because it's not relevant anymore, but people are still linking to that page and trying to reach it. You want to make sure that you're going to 301 redirect that old page to somewhere else so that when people reach that page, that they were looking for, they don't just get a page not found error. You actually want to serve them something, so that some of that authority that page built up is not lost. And so 404 pages in general are bad. So let's see how many of them that there are. There are 53 of them. So that's bad. So let's put that in here. There are 53 404 not found pages identified in Screaming Frog that should all be 301 redirected somewhere else. Next are 301 pages, and these are fine. We don't need to do anything about these 301 pages. Just ignore them. Next, we're going to look at the actual pages that are on the site. So all the 200 status pages. So the next thing that you may notice here is column B. What this is talking about is this is showing us CSS files, image files, PDF files, JavaScript files, and HTML files. And so this time, I actually only want to see the HTML files. So I'm going to click up here under Filter and click on HTML. Next, I'm going to make sure I only see these 200 status pages. So I'll click on status code. So let's just look through these here. And there's problems with URLs. See this one right here, Central Harnett Hospital. This should have hyphens between each of the words, so that's a problem. There are URL structure problems on several pages. All URLs with multiple words in them should be separated by hyphens. For example, this page needs to have its URL updated. All right. So that's not good. Let's keep looking. We're just looking for anything that looks out of the ordinary here to me. All news. Wait, what's going on here? Okay, this is weird. So you can see right here that there's a HTTPS www version of the page. And at the top here, there's also a non-www version of the page here. And they both have a 200 status. That's not good, because anytime that you have a preferred domain, so the non-www here is the preferred domain, the unpreferred domain should automatically 301 redirect to the preferred one. And so because this is a 200 status, that's got me concerned. So let's take a look at that. This is the non-preferred version. I go to it, and again, it's taking a long time to load. And it's showing it to me. But you can see up here, next to the phone numbers, instead of these being icons, these are squares. So that's kind of weird. Squares, squares. Oh boy. All right, let's go to the real version now. Well, now they're there. Oh, so that's a problem. That's actually a problem that's called duplicate content. Whenever there are two pages out there on a site that have the exact same thing, so a www version and a non-www version, or even like version 1 and version 2 that are out there that say the exact same thing, that's a problem because Google really doesn't know which version they should be focusing on. So let's put that in there. There are two versions of the homepage that are reachable right now. And this is a problem because these two pages are considered duplicate content. The non-www version should 301 redirect. Oops, sorry, the www version should redirect to the non-www version. There we go. So I'm glad we found that out. And then finally we got these authors here and categories and things like that. HHS. So there's a bunch of weird stuff going on here, but those are the big issues right now. Let's keep going through it. Let's look at these titles here and try to find out if any pages are missing titles. This is an extremely horrible title right here. Just the word ER in all lowercase. That's awful. The title tag of the page is simply ER. This is too short and is very lazy. We should make this title better, such as ER Express. Now let's actually look at that page and find out if we can learn a little bit more about it and make that title tag better. And we're waiting. When you're sick, the last thing you want to do is wait in a room full of other sick people until your name is called. Now there's ER Express. ER Express is a service of the emergency departments at Betsy Johnson Hospital in Dunn and Central Harnett Hospital in Lillington. It allows you to select a time to come to the ER that day and wait in the comfort of your own home. So let's see. So let's rename it ER Express. Don't wait in the waiting room. Schedule a time to come in at home. I don't know. We'll make that better later, but we're just brainstorming right now. All right, let's keep looking through here and see if any of them are missing title tags. And they're not. Okay. Let's now go over to the meta description, which is right here. And there are tons of pages that are missing meta descriptions. So many of them. We got to put that in there. Many pages on the site are missing meta descriptions. Make meta descriptions for over 100 pages. I would say definitely there's over 100 pages here missing meta descriptions. Next, we're going to look and make sure that each page only has one H1 tag. And several pages over here, as you can see, are missing H1 tags. Every page should have exactly one H1 tag. And you can see right here that some pages are missing them. Several pages are missing H1 tags. And then, as you can see here, several pages also have multiple H1 tags, such as this one here and this one. So let's add that in too. Several pages have multiple H1 tags. Let's add a note here. Every page should have one H1 tag that contains the keyword that page is trying to target. Let's copy that note. Let's put it over here. Awesome. Let's keep going. H1-2s are not good. There's H2s as well. This isn't the biggest deal in the world for a page not to have an H2, but there really should be H2s on every page as well. Let's just skip past these. It doesn't matter if there's multiple H2s, by the way. That is not a big concern, so you don't have to worry about that. Let's go back, put that back, and let's keep going down the line here, Screaming Frog. Next are meta robots tags. None of the pages have meta robots tags, so that's good. It's bad to have those. Same thing with meta refresh. It's really bad to have those. The canonical link should point back to the page itself. So this is patient/visitors. Perfect. And let's check another one here just to be sure. This is all news. All news. Perfect. Awesome. Let's keep going. Size, word count, text ratio, crawl depth, internal links, unique links, external links that are going out right here. There shouldn't be any that are too high. Why is this 99? This is probably pretty high. Let's see what's going on here with this page. Our news has 99 external links. That makes sense. Sometimes blog entries, link out to other places, so that's fine. All right. That is all the issues that Screaming Frog is able to find. There actually are many more in here. I'm going to check for one more thing. I'm going to filter images right here. I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to go down to the bottom and click on In Links, and I'm just going to make sure that these images have alt tags. So let me shrink these down a little bit. So as you can see here, these do have alt tags. That's awesome. And let's just go down through it and see if we can find any images that don't have alt tags. So here we go. We found an image that doesn't have alt tags. That's not good. Let's add that in here. Several images are missing alt tags. All images should have alt tags. We'll go through a few more just to see if there's any more missing. And there definitely are, like this one right here. Other problems that I can see right here is this image right here, 5076 blah 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 .jpg. That's a terrible file name. So let's say this. Several images have bad file names. There's no space between file names. Such as that. File names should describe what is happening in the image with hyphens between words, similar to URLs. So let's take a look at this image and see actually what it is, and let's see if we can come up with a better name for it. So this is the woman from the front page, and let me remember what her name is. Here she is. Her name is Marley Zasek, and she's Interim Chief Nursing Officer. So a better name for that image would have been Marley Zasek / Interim Chief Nursing Officer at Harnet Health. Sorry, Harnet Health. My mistake. .jpg. That would have been a much better file name there. So that is basically all the time that I have for with this audit. So I hope that this was helpful to you and you got a lot of value out of this and that you can use this same process to do a quick audit for yourself. So I'm going to send off these notes to the client and see what they think about it, and we're going to get started on fixing this in later videos. And again, if you enjoyed this video and you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, check out my website, supertechnicalseo.com, and ask me any questions that you might have. Once again, my name is Eric, and thank you so much for watching this video.